Hello, Mark. Chapter 9. Bolster, depreciate, indiscriminate, inquisitive, nebulous, relegate, replete, sedentary, tenet, terse. 10 words in context. In the space provided, write the letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. Bolster, verb. The front porch was sagging, so we had to bolster it with cinder blocks until it could be repaired. When Lisa was in the hospital, visits from friends bolstered her spirits. Bolster means A. to reach, B. to replace, C. to support. Depreciate, verb. As soon as you drive a new car off the lot, it depreciates. It's immediately worth less than you paid for it. The property depreciated when the city built a sewage plant nearby. Depreciate means A. to become better, B. to become less valuable, C. to become definite. Indiscriminate, adjective. Some people end up hopelessly in debt because of indiscriminate spending, so be selective about what and how much you buy. I confess to an indiscriminate love of chocolate. I don't distinguish between plain old Hershey bars and fancy imported chocolates. I adore them all. Indiscriminate means A. healthy, B. unenthusiastic, C. not selective. Inquisitive, adjective. Inquisitive students usually do better than those who are less curious and less eager to learn. Small children are naturally inquisitive. They wonder about the world around them and they are constantly asking why. Inquisitive means A. hardworking, B. particular, C. questioning. Nebulous, adjective. When I ask Leonard what he wants for his birthday, he never gives me any specific ideas. He just gives a nebulous answer like, "Oh, something I can use." "Don't give nebulous answers on the exam," said the history instructor. Be specific. Nebulous means A. indefinite, B. long, C. specific. Relegate, verb. At family gatherings, we kids were always relegated to the kitchen table while the adults are in the dining room. When we have overnight guests, my parents give them my room and relegate me to a cot in the attic. Relegate means A. to send, B. to punish, C. to reward. Replete, adjective. The show was replete with dazzling effect, including gorgeous scenery, glittering costumes, dramatic lighting, and thrilling music. The Book of Household Hints got an excellent review. It's replete with good advice, the critic wrote. Every home owner should purchase a copy. Replete means A. replaced, B. filled, C. followed. Sedentary, adjective. People in sedentary occupations such as bus drivers and riders need to make a special effort to exercise. My old sister's lifestyle is so sedentary that the longest walk she ever takes is from her living room couch to the front seat of her hot car. Sedentary means A. involving much walking, B. involving stress, C. involving much sitting. Tenet, noun. A basic tenet of Islam is there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. This world might be a paradise if everyone lived by such tenets as never cause suffering. Tenet means A. a principle, B. a ritual, C. a prediction. Terse, adjective. I was hurt by Roger's terse response to my invitation. All he said was, "No thanks." A British humor magazine once gave this terse advice to people about to marry. Don't. Terse means A. dishonest, B. unclear, C. short. Matching words with definitions. Following are definitions of the 10 words. Clearly write or print each word next to its definition. The sentences above and on the previous page will help you decide on the meaning of each word. Depreciate. To fall or decrease in value or price. To lower the value of. Indiscriminate. Not chosen carefully, not based on careful selection. Sedentary. Marked by much sitting, requiring or taking little exercise. Tenet. A brief or principle held to be true by an individual or group. Terse. Brief and clear. Effectively concise. Bolster. To hold up, strengthen, or reinforce. Support with a rigid object. Inquisitive. Curious, eager to learn. Replete. Plentifully supplied, well filled. Nebulous. Vague, unclear. Relegate. To assign to a less important or less satisfying position, place, or condition. Caution. Do not go any further until you are sure the above answers are correct. Then you can use the definitions to help you in the following practices. Your goal is eventually to know the words well enough so that you don't need to check the definitions at all. Sentence check 1. Using the answer line provided. Complete each item below with the correct word from the box. Use each word once. A. Bolster. B. Depreciate. C. Indiscriminate. D. Inquisitive. E. Nebulous. F. Relegate. G. Replete. H. Sedentary. I. Tenet. J. Terse. John considers Arlene rude because her comments are usually terse, but I prefer her brief, clear answers to his long-winded ones. Pat's TV viewings is indiscriminate. He just watches whatever happens to be on. When the sofa leg broke, we bolstered that end of the sofa with a pile of books. Houses and antiques often increase in value, but most other things like cars, computers, and appliances tend to depreciate. A large sign in the boys' treehouse stated their club's main tenet: no girls or snakes allowed. The refrigerator was replete with all kinds of marvelous foods for the party. The catcher worried that unless he started playing better, he'd be relegated to the minor leagues. For this semester, my thoughts about a career were nebulous. Now I have a much clearer idea of what work I want to do. When we were children, my active sister was always playing tag or jumping rope. I was more sedentary, preferring to spend hour after hour just sitting and reading. The book answers to 1001 interesting questions. Sounds like the perfect gift for an inquisitive person. Note: now check your answers to these questions by turning to page 178. Going over the answers carefully will help you prepare for the next few practices for which answers are not given. Sentence check 2. Using the answer lines provided, complete each item below with 2 words from the box. Use each word once. When my parents bought their new house, they asked the real estate agent whether it was likely to increase in value or depreciate. The agent gave this nebulous answer: it's always hard to tell about these things. Dad was a construction worker, but as soon as he reached 60, though he was as robust as ever, his company relegated him to a sedentary desk job. The guide said the Leaning Tower pizza are inundated with questions from inquisitive travelers. Why is it leaning? How far is it leaning? Is it being bolstered to keep it from falling any further? Folk wisdom is replete with contradictory sayings and tenets. It's fun to juxtapose pairs such as "he who hesitates is lost" and "look before you leap." Stan is not exactly a terse speaker, which is why he's earned the nickname Motor Mouth. What's more, his conversation is totally indiscriminate. He uses no discretion but just says anything that comes to mind. Final check, our annual garage sale. Here's a final opportunity for you to strengthen your knowledge of the 10 words. First, read the following selection carefully, and fill in each blank with a word from the box at the top of the previous page. Context clues will help you figure out which word goes in which blank. Use each word once. It's almost September. Time for our annual garage sale. Our unwanted items keep piling up in the basement, which is now so full that we've had to relegate some of the collection to the garage. Though the sale is a lot of work, the sight of all those piles and boxes bolstered our determination to go through with it. This proliferation of stuff has left us with a huge number of possessions for sale, from tools and spools to baskets and gaskets. This year, for example, we have an old bike that some zealots for exercise might buy, and a sofa chair and footstool for a more sedentary customer. Our ad seats are main tenet, something for everyone. Maybe that's a bit nebulous, but we don't want to be specific. We just want to disseminate the general idea of our sale will be replete with treasure. Last year, one customer took a quick look and parted with the terse comment, "Nothing but junk." However, most people seem to take a completely indiscriminate approach to shopping. They're predisposed to spend their money on anything, including rusty baking pans and broken lamps. Then, there are the inquisitive shoppers who want us to tell them every detail about every item. How old is it? What did we pay for it? Will it increase or depreciate in value? Friends have foolishly asked us where in the world we get all this junk to sell year after year. An insane question, because the answer is simple. We shop at garage sales. Scores, sentence check 2. Final check. Enter your scores above and in the vocabulary performance chart on the inside back cover of the book. Chapter 10. Autonomy, bureaucratic, mandate, ostracize, raucous, recourse, reiterate, tantamount, tenacious, utopia. 10 words in context. In the space provided, write a letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. Autonomy. Now, in 1776, the American colonists, tired of being ruled by England, fought for their autonomy. Children as young as age 2 begin to want some autonomy. The term terrible twos reflects their struggle for independence. Autonomy means A. Assistance, B. Freedom from control, C. Self-sacrifice. Bureaucratic. Bureaucratic organizations can become so bogged down in regulations that almost no work gets done. This family is more bureaucratic than the federal government. Mac complained to his parents, "You have rules for everything." Bureaucratic means A. Overregulated, B. Old-fashioned, C. Independent. Mandate. Now, all the union members voted for the strike, giving their leaders a clear mandate. The senator received so many letters supporting his position on gun control that he felt he had the mandate of the people. Mandate means A. A criticism, B. A delay, C. An authorization. Ostracize. Children. Verb. Children who look or act different are often ostracized by their classmates. No one would play with them or even talk to them. When Sabrina married a man 20 years younger than herself, She was ostracized by the entire family. No one would have anything to do with her. Ostracize means A. To reject, B. To feel sorry for, C. To control. Raucous. Adjective. The audience at the rock concert was so raucous that we feared the noise and commotion would lead to violence. At the horror movie, the audience behavior became raucous. Everyone was shouting at the characters on the screen and pretending to shrink with fright. Raucous means A. Persistent, B. Disorderly, C. Angry. Recourse. Now, unless you pay your bill, the company threatened, we'll have no recourse but to sue you. We'll try treating you with medication. The doctor explained. If that isn't effective, the only recourse will be surgery. Recourse means A. A way to get help, B. A problem, C. A question. Reiterate verb. The agency director stated, I have said this before, but let me reiterate. Unless we receive the funds to hire more staff, the children of this city will continue to suffer. I hate it when the speaker reiterates the same point over and over, as if the listener weren't paying attention or were just too stupid to understand. Reiterate means A. To repeat, B. To forget, C. To exclude. Tantamount. Charging $3 for a cup of coffee is tantamount to robbery. My mother's refusal to let me have the car was tantamount to forbidding me to go to the beach. Tantamount to means A. The result of, B. Just like, C. Independent of. Tenacious. The cat's grip on the leash was tenacious, but we weren't sure how long she could keep hanging on so firmly. My aunt's tenacious determination to recover may have pulled her through her illness. Tenacious means A. Grasping strongly, B. Weak and ineffective, C. Slowly shrinking. Utopia, noun. In 1888, Edward Bellamy wrote about an utopia where everyone would have a comfortable income, work only until the age of 45, and then enjoy leisure. Everyone has a different idea of utopia. A situation that seems perfect to me might make you miserable. Utopia means A. A city, B. A self-government, C. A paradise. Matching words with definitions. Following are definitions of the 10 words. Clearly write or print each word next to its definition. The sentences above and on the previous page will help you decide on the meaning of each word. Utopia, an ideal or perfect place or state, a place achieving social or political perfection. Raucous, noisy and disorderly. Boisterous. Recourse, a source of help, security or strength, something to turn on. Bureaucratic, insisting on strict rules and routine, often to the point of hindering effectiveness. Reiterate, to say it again or repeatedly. Autonomy, independence, self-government. Mandate, a group's express wishes, clear signal to act, vote of confidence. Ostracize, to expel or exclude from a group. Tantamount, equal in effect or value, the same as. Tenacious, holding firmly, persistent, stubborn. Caution, do not go any further until you are sure the above answers are correct. Then you can use the definition to help you in the following practices. Your goal is eventually to know the words well enough so you don't need to check the definitions at all. Sentence check 1. Using the answer line provided, complete each item below with the correct word from the box. Use each word once. A. Autonomy. B. Bureaucratic. C. Mandates. D. Ostracize. E. Raucous. F. Recourse. G. Reiterate. H. Tantamount. I. Tenacious. J. Utopia. I'd love to have I love a job with a great deal of autonomy. I want to set my own hours, work at home when I like, and make many decisions on my own. In high school, Philip was ostracized because of his political views, but in college, he found many people who shared his opinions. When you write a letter of complaint, begin by stating what you want the company to do about the problem, then reiterate this request at the end. Our local supermarkets are so expensive that shopping there is tantamount to throwing our money away. The children on the school bus were so raucous that the driver got a headache from all the noise. Helen's smoking was a tenacious habit. She wasn't able to give it up until she watched her brother die of lung cancer. Idealists sometimes try to establish utopia, but these communities have always failed. I wonder if it is possible to achieve perfection. While most college instructors are flexible, some are very bureaucratic, allowing no expectations or rules regardless of the circumstances. In a landslide election, the voter's mandate is clear. If the vote has been closed, though, it's difficult to tell what the people really want. In the past, workers often had no recourse when employers discriminated against them. Today, however, they can seek help from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Note: now check your answers to these questions by turning to page 178. Going over the answer carefully will help you prepare for the next two practices, for which answers are not given. Sentence check 2. Using the answer lines provided, complete each item below with 2 words from the box. Use each word once. One concept of an utopia is a society in which each individual maintains his or her autonomy yet collaborates with others to achieve the good for all. My company is so bureaucratic, they complained, that we are buried in paperwork. Sometimes we have to reiterate the same information on 5 different forms. If elected officials ignore the mandates of the people, citizens always have the recourse of voting those officials out of office. Our neighbor has a tenacious belief in superstitions. For instance, she insists that our owning a black cat is tantamount to asking for a grievous misfortune. The kids' basketball league ostracized one team because of the reprehensible behavior of its players. They engage in raucous horseplay on the court, instigated fights, and constantly tries to circumvent the rules. Now the other teams refuse to play them. Final check. A debate on school uniforms. Here is a final opportunity for you to strengthen your knowledge of the 10 words. First, read the following selection carefully. Then, fill in each blank with a word from the box at the top of the previous page. Context clues will help you figure out which word goes in which blank. Use each word once. At Monday's student council meeting, the officers debated about whether or not students should be required to wear uniforms. Barbara, president of the senior class, stated that as an elected representative of the students, she wouldn't vote to change the dress code without a clear mandate from the students calling for such a change. Personally, she said, I think that forcing people to wear certain clothes robs them of their autonomy. What is school supposed to teach us, if not the ability to think and act independently? Besides, she added, the school administration is bureaucratic enough. We don't need any more rules and regulations. Ray, vice president of the junior class, disagreed. The current situation in our school is tantamount to a three-ring circus, she said. Students compete to see who can look most clownish. Some of the outfits show so much skin that they belonged on the beach. Other kids are such snobs about their ostentatious designer clothes that they ostracize kids who can't afford to keep up with them. I'm not saying that uniforms will change the school into a utopia. No place is perfect. I just think that if we want school to be more fair, our best recourse is a strict dress code. At that, several students burst into raucous disagreement, yelling and pounding on their desks. After several minutes of vociferous chaos, the meeting came to order and Barbara was called on again. Tenacious in her opinion, she insisted, I understand what you're saying, Ray, but I want to reiterate a point I made earlier. Uniforms do away with one aspect of personal choice, and one of my tenets is that personal choice is precious. Scores, sentence check, final check. Enter scores above and in the vocabulary performance chart on the inside back cover of the book. Chapter 9. Bolster. Depreciate, indiscriminate, inquisitive, nebulous, relegate, replete, sedentary, tenants, terse. 10 words in context. In the space provided, write the letter of the meaning closest to that of each bold-faced word. Use the context of the sentences to help you figure out each word's meaning. Bolster, verb. The front porch was sagging, so we had to bolster it with cinder blocks until it could be repaired. When Lisa was in the hospital, visits from friends bolstered her spirit. Bolsters means A. to reach, B. to replace, C. to support. Depreciate, verb. As soon as you drive a new car off the lot, it depreciates. It's immediately worth less than you paid for it. The property depreciated when the city built a sewage plant nearby. Depreciate means A. to become better, B. to become less valuable, C. to become indefinite. Indiscriminate, adjective. Some people end up hopelessly in debt because of indiscriminate spending, so be selective about what and how much you buy. I confess to an indiscriminate love of chocolate. I don't distinguish between plain old Hershey bars and fancy imported chocolate. I adore them all. Indiscriminate means A. healthy, B. unenthusiastic, C. not selective. Inquisitive, adjective. Inquisitive students usually do better than those who are less curious and less eager to learn. Some children are naturally inquisitive. They wonder about the world around them, and they are constantly asking why. Inquisitive means A. hardworking, B. particular, C. questioning. Nebulous, adjective. When I ask Leonard what he wants for his birthday, he never gives me any specific ideas. He just gives me a nebulous answer, like, oh, something I can use. Don't give nebulous answers on the exam, said the history instructor. Be specific. Nebulous means A. indefinite, B. long, C. specific. Relegate, verb. At family gatherings, we kids were always relegated to the kitchen table, while the adults ate in the dining room. When we have overnight guests, my parents give them a room and relegate me to a cot in the attic. Relegate means A. to send, B. to punish, C. to reward. Replete, adjective. The show was replete with dazzling effect, including gorgeous scenery, glittering costumes, dramatic lighting, and thrilling music. The book of household hits got an excellent review. It's replete with good advice, the critic wrote. Every house owner should purchase a copy. Replete means A replaced, B filled, C followed. Sedentary, adjective. People in sedentary occupations such as bus drivers and writers need to make a special effort to exercise. Okay, thank you for listening.